During World War II, terrible atrocities occurred which were carried out by the Nazi Party. Though many people would immediately think of Adolf Hitler, he was simply the kingpin of the whole operation. Thousands of men were corrupted by nationalism, racism, and/or greed. After Hitler killed himself, the hunt was on for the remainders. They knew if they stayed, they would be convicted of the several crimes against humanity they committed in the various concentration camps. So, in search of a way out, these indescribably terrible men found the ratlines, leading them to new lives. The question stands, though. How did these men cross the ocean to start new lives? The answer to this question is fairly simple, yet complicated at the same time. To make a long story short, the Church of Pope Pius VII. But the longer answer leads us through transcontinental lines, known collectively as the ratlines. To start off the story of the ratlines, we first have to understand the logic of His Holiness, and why in the world he would help over 10,000 war criminals escape punishment. And the answer, as always, lies in the Soviets. In March of 1917, World War I was raging on, especially in the Eastern Front. As the Germans pushed onto Russian soil, the Bolshevik rebellion occurred. That led the nation of Russia out of World War I and into the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union was done battling itself, it was finally turned into the communist utopia that Lenin wanted it to be. Him on the top and everyone under him. This shocked the world, especially the world of the church. For millennia, religion had held the world in its hand, but now, as times were changing, the Vatican noticed how communism ruined everything essential about Christianity, and how if Vladimir Lenin's idea of utopia spread, they would be rendered useless. Seeing this, however, led Pope Pius down a terrible path. He decided that fascism was a good thing, and that, out of the two, they would support Nazi Germany over communist Russia. Thinking foolishly that there was no in between, Pope Pius decided to be the holy force to finally end communism in its entirety, and to try and help any and all fascists seeking asylum in after World War II, including Nazis. It would be foolish, though, to think that this was the only reason. As most things in the 1900s do, it also comes down to religion and race. As is obvious by the actions taken by the Nazis in the Holocaust, anti-Semitism was running rampant at the time, and as a sort of competitor to the Jewish religion, anti-Semitism was coursing through the church, and this was felt through the actions of Pope Pius in its entirety. Going back to the ratlines for a second, the ratlines led through many countries. Some of these countries include Germany, Vatican City, Italy, Switzerland, Spain, and Portugal. Most of them ended in South American countries, including Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and Ecuador, though some of them had shorter routes that ended in Switzerland, Spain, and Portugal. The ratlines weren't originally created for Nazis. The lines were actually originally created for transferring Christian Europeans to South America to help spread Christianity there. In the end, though, the lines were used for something much more twisted. Pope Pius ended up helping thousands of war criminals escape punishment and begin new lives. Sadly, there was not a happy resolution. Most of the Nazis were never caught after World War II, including big names. Though a lot were caught, if that gives you hope. To this day, we are still uncovering the mysteries and everything that went on inside of the ratlines, and to find the answer to the real questions we have about the ratlines. Some examples of these questions could be something along the lines of, were the Soviets secretly behind all of it? Did Hitler escape to Argentina through the ratlines? And, most importantly, did Obama know?